Hey guys, it's Mongolia Mindset, and me and Thomas are going to be typing another celebrity requested from our Discord, Martha Stewart. She's got a big what is it, documentary out that's on Netflix. Thomas, anything you want to say about Martha Stewart before we get into it?
Now let's just get to it.
All right. So, guys, we're going to be using Linda Berens Interaction Styles and Temperament combined with cognitive functions. We have a breakdown of all those and the metrics. Thomas just wants to get right down to business, guys. So we'll check and see what the monkeys over at Personality Database has her as. They have her as an ESTJ, guys. Yeah, ESTJ. Okay. We'll be collecting our points over here as we go. And we'll be following the type grid over here. This is an ESTJ, so that's going to be direct initiating control. They're going to be more about logistical intelligence, right? The direct initiating control, systematic, affiliative, and concrete. If she meets those metrics, we'll call her ESTJ. If she don't, we'll find her actual personality type. They're also SINE and TEFI. So let's get into it.
Talent and relentless drive to create enchanting yet conceivable portraits of domestic beauty. Her adoring fans absorb every detail of her instruction and have elevated Martha Stewart to living icon. She has published 13 books, including her landmark Entertaining. Her widely successful magazine, Martha Stewart Living, has spawned a two-time Emmy-winning television series of the same name, and I am very pleased to have this living icon, this doyen of domesticity, here on this broadcast. Welcome.
Hi, Charlie.
This is an extraordinary story, and I really want to just start from the beginning because we have time to do it. I have here a series of books and magazines. You are everywhere. New York Magazine, May 1995. She's Martha Stewart, and you're not. Go ahead, snicker, but that crazed blue chip perfectionism has made her the definitive American woman of our time. Esquire magazine out on your newsstand now. Women we love. Guess who?
God damn, all this dick sucking. Jesus Christ. What? It's ridiculous. Anytime, like, damn, bro. Shit.
Skip ahead.
Martha Stewart, and the editor of
Jesus.
Living, everyday living at home, in the garden, around the house, with the kids, on vacation. And it has always been, for me, a very serious subject. But to persuade other people that it's a serious subject, not my readers, not my followers. I don't like to call them followers, my friends, but to
But the world
persuade,
is full of Martha wannabes.
well, that's great because we're all trying to do the same thing, live well.
Yeah. There are a lot of arguments about this. A lot of people are trying to
Correct.
understand what it is, and in part they
Yeah, she's coming off pretty direct, guys. Pretty direct, right? Um, pretty close ended there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything.
say
He's direct.
Yeah.
that this world is so chaotic and tough, and there's so many pressures out there that you have, in a sense, said your home is a place for security. Your home is a place you can enjoy. Your home is a place that offers you some a calm port.
It does. It's the sense of security, the sense of being able to relax within the confines of your own world. Have your own world. That's what I'm all about. It's having some place to think, to do, to make, to enjoy.
All right. We're going to talk a lot about this. Let me go back to New Jersey growing up. Your dad, influence he had.
Great gardener, a very artistic personality, a beautiful man physically.
Handsome.
Very, very handsome. Talented.
It doesn't seem like outcomes, right, Thomas?
Yeah, she's not going through any processes, so
Yeah.
I'll with the outcome.
Yeah, she just like listing them out.
Hmm.
Like, outcome, 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 outcome.
But disappointed in his own life. And peculiarly so, because he had everything. I mean, he had everything. He had a great family, 6 kids, a lovely wife. My mother is still a very active, personable, caring person. And he yet was not so satisfied with his lot in life. And I've tried to figure that one out. I don't know why, but he was a very.
I got a feeling her mom, her dad is an INTJ.
You think so?
Yeah. because INTJs have a lot of resentment because they have these grand visions of where they see themselves from a young age, but they don't quite get to where they visualize, and that
Yeah,
creates a lot of resentment
true.
with their future.
Very talented man, and taught me a lot. Taught me how to paint, taught me how the feel of good fabric, taught me about being a perfectionist.
And cooking was taught to you by your mother?
Mother, yes,
Being a perfectionist.
indeed.
Yeah.
Now, were you the favorite of one or the other? Were you
Dad's favorite.
Dad's girl, huh?
Oh yes, I was the oldest girl. I was like the second mother to the rest of the brood. But we had a very interesting childhood. Everything done at home, living at home. No vacations, no eating out. We didn't have any money.
So you created a place, a home.
It's fucking direct outcome. It's direct outcome.
Nonstop.
Nonstop. I'm just going ahead and eliminate that, like direct outcome. So she's an in charge type guys based off that, being direct and outcome. You guys see that there's nothing. She's just listing end products, right? No progression at all. So based off that, most of the grid is gone. We're looking at ESTJ, ESTP, ENTJ, and ENFJ. She's a T user. We're down to ESTJ and ENTJ, and then it's gonna get interesting.
Did
So it
indeed.
became what you have done on a grand scale.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You were a teenage model.
Yes. 13, I started working.
Yeah. Well, the drive
Just initiated that. 13, I started working. Don't you skip over my achievements.
was there then for you. I mean, there was this sense of workaholism, this sense of being as good as you can be.
Well, at home we were always told, you know, you can do anything you want. You can be anything you want to be. We had that really good instruction all the time.
My parents told me the same thing.
They did. Good.
There are no limits.
Yeah, well, that was the nicest thing that a parent, I think that's the nicest thing a parent can tell a kid, is that you just don't have any limits. And if you're intelligent, you can go out and you can really perform. You can really do what you want to do. Plus, I had really great teachers, Charlie. My teachers, I mean, I remember every single teacher and what they taught me.
And were you a teacher's pet?
What do you think about that, Thomas? Ooh.
Would seem like SI, right?
Yeah.
Is that what
Yeah.
okay.
That was a little tricky one there, because then she got on the performance, and then she got on that, and then she's like, I can remember everything. So I'm gonna go back over it. Wait.
I can remember
Is that
everything.
you just,
Every teacher, I can only remember like a select few teachers, to be honest. Like,
I don't remember shit from school.
I mean, I can remember like a select few teachers.
Yeah, a few of them.
Yeah, like just like the ones that were like kind of the most impact.
just don't have any limits. And if you're intelligent, you can go out and you can really perform. You can really do what you want to do. Plus, I had really great teachers, Charlie. My teachers, I mean, I remember every single teacher and what they taught me.
And were you a teacher's pet?
Oh, sure. I wanted to be the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the teacher's pet. Oh, goddamn.
I mean, you think an ENTJ would say that?
Hell no, dude. That's got to go down for affiliates. Holy moly.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like an ENTJ to me.
Fuck no, teacher's pet. I wanted. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, the dick sucking.
Teacher's pet, because I felt that when you learn from your teacher, no matter if you're sitting at the teacher's knee, if you're working by the teacher's side, you are going to learn more than anybody else. So being a teacher's pet, I was never chastised for being a teacher's pet. Nobody picked on me. They all just assumed, oh, well, Martha's the teacher's pet. Because I went about it very, professionally, and I went about it very caringly. I cared about my teachers. I invited them home for lunch, home for dinner, and the table was always big enough.
Mr. Do Right, like the safety patrol. We talked about it in like the parenting or whatever, the fucking safety patrol, like fucking child that like fucking wants to do everything right and be around the teachers and invite the teachers home and shit.
That's what
fucking SJ all day.
For whoever we wanted to bring home. And that was a nice thing about our family too. And there was always room, there was always enough vegetables, there was always enough food. So even though we were just, tight budget, we were able to really expand our universe by learning from other people.
Yeah, learning how to do it for yourself too. Teenage model, then you went on to be a stockbroker.
Yep, went to Barnard College, where I got a fabulous education.
Now, the story is you had a full scholarship to NYU, but not a
tea.
full scholarship to Barnard, but you wanted to go to Barnard for...
I did.
All this tea, right?
Well, I mean, she's been doing it for like the last few minutes, but like, yeah, just again, like listening off. Oh, I went to Barnard College, very prestigious school, basically.
Mhm.
TE. So
Like, look at me. I'm special because I went there. And
I'm
it's
so
like,
smart. Yeah.
and you see that smile light up every time she says something about achievement. Just like
Yep.
it's crazy.
Where I got a fabulous education.
Yeah.
Now,
Now,
right
the story
here,
is you had a full scholarship to NYU, but not a full scholarship to Barnard, but you wanted to go to Barnard for
I did
reasons,
indeed.
the Ivy League or something.
No,
What
I
was
didn't.
it?
No, it wasn't Ivy League. It was I liked the people immediately at Barnard, the interviews that I had there, the smallness of the college, and the ability to be within a big university and yet be an independent college. I liked that very much. I was
Kind of seems like she's talking about her own experience there. Small, but not, intimate. Kind of like my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hit her for SI there. Fuck, she's a ESTJ.
choosy then. I mean, I was choosy. I guess I still continue to be choosy, but it was a great place, and I learned. I really learned to love learning there more than in high school.
Yeah. But you became a stockbroker.
Yeah, my father-in-law was a stockbroker, and he encouraged me to sort of gamble. I liked that little bit of life too, and learned a lot about stocks. Went to work for a very interesting young firm. No one was over 23 years old in my firm, and we.
No one was over 23 in my firm.
We worked very hard.
Yeah,
we
it's like
started.
The thing about ESTJs is they have such an elitist attached to them. It's like ridiculous. Like, like ENTJ is not so much elitist. Oh, no one was over 23. We're so elite and better than everybody else and perfect individuals.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. Like
Every day at zero. I learned how to really be competitive there. It was a tough environment, but with just a microcosm of Wall Street. The movie Wall Street had nothing on this firm.
Eventually, what seems to be, when you look at your life, a significant move. You went to Westport, Connecticut.
Yes.
And what happened there that sort of influenced the rest of your life?
I really fell in love with living. That was my first. That was the first inkling I had. I think that making a home, raising a family, was more important to me than anything else. So I quit Wall Street, and it was during Water.
What you say?
Probably FI. That was more important to me than anything else.
Yeah. Being traditional, SJ type shit.
True.
I remember
72, 73, right?
Yeah, painting the house from top to bottom. This is a big old farmhouse. Painting it by myself on a ladder, listening to Watergate.
Now you're married then.
Oh yes.
And you have a child, a daughter, right?
Yeah. And so I'm painting the house, trying to figure out what my life's going to be like, watching America's government sort of fall apart, and I decided then and there that the home was really my place. I really loved it. I loved the garden. I loved decorating, designing, cooking. So I started a catering business.
So that's all FI there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all FI. That's heavy duty FI there, guys. That is heavy duty.
Watching America's government sort of fall apart, and I decided then and there that the home was really my place. I really loved it. I loved the garden. I loved decorating, designing, cooking. So I started a catering business. And it was hard. It was hard to go from Wall Street, the excitement of Wall Street, and the big dollars.
I started a catering business.
SI, outcome.
Yeah.
I was making a lot of money on Wall Street. It was very hard to adapt to a different lifestyle.
What was hard about it? Just not having money to
Adapting,
spend?
Well,
arguably.
Yeah.
Adapting to a different lifestyle is probably SI, I think, so.
Yeah, she's not forcing her will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even so much the money as that excitement, that day-to-day, intense relationships, too. Yeah, adrenaline, relationships with very interesting people, conversations, reading, discussing. It was like being on Charlie Rose every day, really and truly, at that office. And so it was hard to go and be secluded in Westport, Connecticut, which was like it was the hinterlands.
Was it traumatic for you?
I think I relaxed immediately into it. I didn't wake up itching and nervous because of Wall Street and my clients and the ire that we aroused on Wall Street. So I was very happy. I was very happy to do what I was doing. So I started this other business. It was just as difficult, less profitable. Yeah, catering. Nothing is more difficult physically. And
Getting into the physically, like SI perspective,
Uh-huh.
also the TE and the outcome is just so apparent. Like me and Tom's gonna watch a little bit more, but it's safe to say she's ESTJ here, guys.
Yeah. She's like the poster
mentally, I mean, I
child
did it
for
out of my home.
Huh?
ESTJ.
She's like poster child for ESTJ, right?
Pretty much, trying to be,
Miss Perfect, Miss fucking
uh-huh.
Perfect.
It was so I stayed at home, but I still was able to develop and create a business. That turned out to be the basis for everything else I was going to do.
I know it is. I want to come to that because
It ended up being the system that I use for everything else.
Yeah.
System I use. I devised one system and I use it for everything else. Systematic.
empire is what we want to get to, and some sense of you is at the center of that empire. You're catering, and you cater for somebody down in Manhattan, and some publisher comes over and you says, how about a book?
Yeah.
And he wants to print maybe 5,000, 10,000 copies, and you say, how about 50,000, 100,000? It sells, in the end, how many copies?
Oh gosh, we're close to 1 million on this
And here
book.
it is. This is it?
Yep.
Entertaining. There is cute little Martha Stewart right there.
1982 it
Now,
was
is this the
published.
backyard of your house
Yes.
then? So everything, the pictures were all taken up there in
Oh, absolutely.
Westport, Connecticut.
That's how I started. I started because I was living in my own world, creating a world. Yeah. I thought, well, I've learned a lot here, and I've really entertained a lot of people. And without the catering business, I could never have written this book. Yeah. So it was unique in its way because, first of all, it was the first full-color cookbook, entertaining book ever written. And nobody even knows that. I mean, it was like a breakthrough.
Achievement, right? TEFI.
Book.
So it told you what? Look at this.
Yeah,
is this you here?
Those are my cabbages.
Oh my goodness. Is this you out there in the cabbage?
It is indeed.
This is what? This is like 1980
That's 1981,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, look at that, right? That's your house there, or the back of your house, out there in the cabbages. Now, are you a good cook?
I think I'm a very good cook, yes.
And so this book is all about entertaining, and it's a huge success. Are you now beginning to think there is no limit to what I can do?
I never think that. I never think there's no limit. I certainly know my limits, but I don't think about them. Yeah. I have a lot on my mind. I have a lot of very good ideas, I think, and I want to accomplish those ideas because I think that what I've become, writing all these books, creating a magazine, I have become a really good teacher and a good helper for people.
And the message is what? What's
a helper for people, Thomas?
Affiliative teacher. Yeah. Fucking Christ.
Yeah, we're done here, guys. Yeah, we're done. So guys, we got ESTJ.
The monkeys were right this time.
Yeah, the monkeys over at personality. A broke clock is right twice a day. I mean, I guess you couldn't really fucking miss it. I mean, she's so on that perfectionist shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, guys, she's got to be Enneagram 1. She's talking about that perfectionist shit, hardcore. Like, they're gonna be more attached to like, being perfect, perceiving perfect, teacher's pet. That's their fucking ones. What are you thinking, 9 or 2, Thomas?
God, I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards 2. I'm just guessing though.
You're just guessing. Yeah, I can see 2. I can see 2 because she wants to help the community.
Yeah, that's why. Because of that, 9's more about like harmony, kind of.
Yeah, harmony and shit of that nature. So
but I think she's more like a 2. I think, to be honest.
Yeah, she's more of a 2. I mean that would be correct there. So guys, ESTJs are initiating, right? You can see her in the interview there. She was initiating quite a bit, especially when she wanted to make sure that achievements got across right. You got to make sure you get it right. You got to be right.
Get my achievements right, yeah.
Yeah. They're concrete guys, but you also got to remember that they do have any child, so they can abstract a bit using their child function, especially if they're developed. And I do think Martha Stewart is pretty developed there, guys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, she's a great example of an ESTJ.
Yeah. Systematic, right? They love systems. They love using systems to get control of life. Like their brain thinks on a systematic point of view, right? So like a lot of people have trouble understanding the difference between that. It's like a systematic person, when they're in a new situation or a situation, they're trying to use a system here. Like their goal is to use a system because they believe as though if they get the system, then they can get what they want, right? They're not really worried about the interests or the motives behind things. That's going to be the SPs and NFs. And she's affiliative, guys. She's about doing what's right. How moral compass, teacher's pet, god damn it. She's direct, she's specific, concise, to the point. There's literally just pure outcomes here. And she talks about like kind of controlling chaos, right? That's what in charge types are really good at. SINE, right? NTEFI guys.
Yeah.
And we have her as that. What are you thinking for subtype? Dominant or
Subtype.
normalizing? Which one? What you think?
Um, I would say most likely normalizing.
Normalizing.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, creative and dominant are off the board. I think immediately normalizing probably is not. I mean, harmonizing is not likely. So
I can see somebody push for dominant, being a
I could see a
CEO
case
and
for it
shit.
just because of like she started her own businesses. She's been very successful. I mean, I
Yeah.
could see a case for it, but I think she fits more normalizing.
Yeah. So I mean, you could slide her in both guys. I could say somebody could make a case for dominant, somebody could make a case for normalizing. I mean, you'd have a case, but I would say like the dominant ESTJs usually end up being like judges and shit. Like Jesus, like you see like Judge Joe Brown, they're big on like reforming people, big on reforming people. Like you're going to listen to the system, like you're going to do your time in jail, like Um, I'd say she's above average, or pushing to, I'd say she's above average on ESTJ land here. Um,
You
when
don't
it
think
comes
she's
to her,
prodigy level?
she still got nagging FE, man. She's still got bad FE.
Okay.
Like in her interview, I've seen an interview when I was watching the documentary. And she was like flat out just said, I don't give a fuck about how people feel. Don't even tell me. So
Yeah.
she still got some of that nagging, right? She's gotta get a little bit better with it. I think she's getting there pretty much. I think everything else is pretty well developed. I would say even though NI Trickster is a thing for ESTJs, her seems to be, she maybe has a better use of it than other people, right? Because she talks
Hmm.
about creating her own world and shit. So I would say she probably has that, but that FE she probably definitely needs to work on. Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm gonna give her a knock for that. I mean, she may be headed into that category, right?
Yeah.
But guys, we got her as an ESTJ 1W2 normalizing. You know what? We're gonna change it up. Normalizing slash dominant, right? We're gonna start doing two, right? Fuck it. Maybe she's oscillating between those two. People probably oscillate between two. Above average in 1W2, right? Anything you want to say before we get out of here, Thomas?
Um, I don't think. I mean, it's cool that we got an ESTJ. I mean, we to get one on the channel. We don't get that many. So,
Yeah, unless like people start asking for fucking politicians and shit. It's like,
well,
God
I
damn.
mean, yeah, exactly, politicians. But
Yeah.
um, other than that, it's like, yeah, we're not really getting ESTJs.
Yeah, they need to start recommending SFJs for real, because I think we have like maybe one Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. They keep recommending NTJs, NTPs.
Mainly, yeah. It's
Yeah, yeah.
all
Well, all right, guys. It's been a pleasure, guys.
right.